Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Gary here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. It really does help with the algorithm. Now let's get into this. We're sitting at $3.08, trading within a range of $2.95 to $3.10. We're pretty much running flat on the 24-hour period. I'm expecting us to continue to trade sideways for a little bit, accumulate, and then we should see that next leg up. You know what time it is. Let's go down that old rabbit hole, see what we can find out. The XRP Escrow secret solving buyers. While the docs now point to quiet off-market accumulation by state-linked players, not disclosed to you, but the receipts are getting loud. Let's check this out. 2017, 55 billion XRP locked in time vaults. Monthly unlocks and used gets re-escrowed. Everyone watched the public wallets, while the real accumulation moved through closed rooms and NDAs. 19, Ripple pivots from exchange strips to OTC, strategic partners. No order book fireworks, no retail breadcrumbs. Exactly how sovereign liquidity desks would buy quiet, deep, and off the tape. Gulf whispers first. Private lunches with state banks, corridors lighting up UAE and KSA remittance hubs snapping into place. UAE's Al Farden exchange partners with Ripple for instant remittances. Triangle Ripple-backed enables ODL across 25 corridors, including the UAE and Middle East. These are precisely the kinds of rails sovereign money uses quietly. You don't build pipes like that for means. You build them for governments. And Asia moves. Old guard institutions in Japan and SEA plug into Ripple rails. Ownership stakes appear in key payment hubs. Corridors stabilize. If you wanted inventory for settlement trials, you'd source it here, far from public eyes. SBI Remit uses Ripple Tech for Japan SEA corridors. Ripple acquired 40% of Triangle to deepen the APAC ODL. If you wanted to source XRP off-market at scale, you'd use partners like these. CBDC testbeds start popping up like beacons. Tiny kingdoms, strategic pilot nations, tokenized treasuries, compliant stablecoins. Pilot today, policy tomorrow, but pilot needs fuel, settlement needs fuel. Look again at the escrow timings versus corridor expansion. The unlock set the metronome, the off-market deals set the rhythm. Public ledgers tell a story, the silence between them tell the real one. Founders' fingerprints, Larson the diplomat, Katz the code keeper, and McCaleb the decoy exit. While the crowd chase dumps and charts, the adults in the room stitch state-grade plumbing. Everyone argues price, sovereigns don't. They argue throughput, finality, and control, and they buy where clicks don't move candles. And everyone always asks, why XRP? Finality in seconds, negligible cost, native DEX and AMM, institutional custody, messaging rails that speak banker. It's not a coin, it's clearance tape. Why buy off market? Avoid price impact, accumulate liquidity for CBD settlement and FX testing, and build inventory for ODL corridors without telegraphing intent. This matches OTC plus corridor expansion we can verify. What do we have? On-ledger escrow mechanics, public. Ripple's OTC strategic partners, public. CB pilots, public. Gulf plus Asia corridor scaling ODL, public. When you connect those dots, the sovereign accumulation off-market theory stops sounding crazy and starts sounding like prudent plumbing. Final take, if a crypto-based financial system is quietly forming XRP's escrow plus OTC structure exactly how large institutions or sovereigns would enter without detonating price. Until a central bank like SWF discloses holdings, it's a well-supported hypothesis, not a fact. Watch the pilots, watch the corridors. What do you think? Are sovereigns quietly stacking XRP via OTC? Comment down below and tell me what you guys think. I think they've been stacking for a long time. Self-sovereign identity, SSI, on the XRP Ledger. Let's check this out and see what this entails.
The next iteration of the World Wide Web, known as Web 3, promises more user empowerment by giving us back control of our data. Simple to say, but how would this actually work? First and foremost, Web3 users will require their own identity layer to regain ownership of their personal data. Blockchain introduces the possibility of having a decentralized online identity, which users could use chain agnostically across all platforms, also known as self-sovereign identity, or SSI for short. This could serve as the tamper-proof identity layer that gives users control back over their digital footprint. But more importantly, decentralized identity could create a more equal digital playing field by giving back users ownership of their data and by democratizing big data revenue, since large corporations would have to buy personal data directly from the users. Identity is central to our day-to-day interactions and an essential part of human evolution. And as humanity evolves, it's only natural for identity solutions to follow suit.
That's pretty interesting because I know that all of our data is being compiled by AI for free. They gather all they want when technically it's our personal data. I think being able to have control of our own personal data is a major step in freedom, in my opinion. Japan's XRP adoption ignite a $22 price explosion. I don't know about that, but I wouldn't be against it. I'll tell you that right now. Korea made XRP a powerhouse. If Japan follows, the global market won't just move, it could detonate. September's sold doubleheader may trigger the liquidity shockwave XRP has been waiting for. Let's check this out. Korea, the sleeping giant that woke XRP. Population 53 million. 7 million active XRP holders, 13% of the population, 20% of the global XRP volume. That's pretty damn massive, if you ask me. For only a 53 million population, that's massive. 500 million to 700 million of daily flow. One small nation controls nearly 1/5 of XRP's liquidity. That's not adoption, that's dominance. That's dominance at its core. Japan, the multiplier that could break markets. Japan's 125 million population and Korea's 13% adoption ratio equals 16 million XRP users. That's 2.3 times Korea's firepower. Daily potential, 1.1 billion to 1.4 billion XRP volume. And you have to understand that according to SBI and Japan officials, they say that 80% of Japan's banks will be using XRP and Ripple Tech for cross-border payments and payments in general by this year. The combined shockwave, Korea 500 million to 700 million a day. Japan 1.1 billion to 1.4 billion a day. Together, 1.6 billion to 2.1 billion in daily retail liquidity. Add institutional ODL corridors on top, and the supply squeeze becomes brutal. What it means for price. History shows when XRP volume doubles, price don't creep. They explode. If timing aligns with the September-November rally window, before events, $5. After events, $8 to $10. With ETF plus institutional flow, $12 to $22 by year end. September equals XRP's double nuclear catalyst. September 21st, XRP Soul 2025, Ripple execs, SVI, XRPL Labs, new corridors, Treasury adoption, DL expansion. September 22nd to the 28th, Korea Blockchain Week, Asia's loudest blockchain megaphone, global spotlight on XRP. Back-to-back stage time equals back-to-back liquidity shockwaves. SBI Holdings in Japan's trump card. Ripple's top ally in Asia. Runs SBI Remit and SBI VC Trade. Already connects Japan SEA corridors and can flip the switch on Japan-Korea XRP payments overnight. This isn't theory. The rails already exist. The global ripple effect. When Korea and Japan sync up, Western traders chase the rally. Order books thin out. Supply crunches send XRP vertical. Korea struck the match. Japan could light the rocket. Is Japan about to push XRP into the $20 stratosphere, or are markets sleepwalking into Asia's liquidity storm? Comment down below and tell me what you guys think. And last up, some food for thought. Chainlink and Swift updates only patch legacy systems. They don't solve the underlying inefficiency or scale global liquidity the way XRP does. XRP isn't competing with updates. It's replacing the system with real-time frictionless infrastructure. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.